Hey, good morning, Jess. I just wanted to address some of your questions this morning. In fact, I went back and tried to re-listen to your message, but I think in that system, when you after you listen to it, it goes away, so you don't have the chance to re-listen to it. But I think the three questions that you asked were about the banks, the stability of the banks during the coronavirus, interest rates, and housing. I can't remember if there was anything else specifically that you're asking, but I just wanted to address that. First of all, banks. No, I am not an economist. I don't have a crystal ball. However, at this point in time, from what I'm reading online, and here's an article from The Guardian that former Virgin money boss Jane Ann, I'm not sure how to say her last name, Gadhia, she her prediction with the banks is that they're going to behave better this time, that they've learned their lessons. Sentiment on Wall Street, I'm kind of reading the same types of things. Here's another article from CNBC that talks about where the banks nearly took down the economy in 2008 and that they're hoping to redeem themselves during this financial crisis. So, again, another article about the financial stability. I think the whole structure of the economy, how we do things, is going to change. I think it's going to become much more digital. But I saw a news article or a news report last night, and they were talking about how resilient Americans are and how smart Americans are. So I think that everybody's going to come out of, not everybody, but I think a lot of people are going to come out of this looking pretty good with, as far as the banks. I think they'll always have the government to help back them. So I'm not too concerned about that. Interest rates right now, talking to several lenders. Oh, another thing want to mention, talking to several lenders, some banks, Wells Fargo, B of A, those are the ones I'd stay away from right now. They are clamping down pretty hard on lending. However, other lenders, Guild, OneTrust, Axia, those companies are still doing business as usual. Some companies have pulled back on the jumbo loans and first-time homebuyer programs, but for the most part, those are still available. And I don't see the banks ever shutting down lending. I mean, that's how they make their money. I just don't see that happening. Hope I'm not wrong on that prediction. Interest rates. You had talked about interest rates. I think interest rates right now are very volatile. One day they're very low, next day they're jumping up a point. But the bottom line is they're still at a historical low values. If anything, what will happen, potentially could happen, if they tighten up money, is interest rates could go up higher. So I'm not sure if I'd want to risk that. That's a decision that you have to make with you and your family. Housing in Reno. Right now, the way where we stand is the median price in March went up from February almost 6%. I don't think that's going to happen going further. I think if anything, it might reverse a little bit or flatten out at the least. Units sold were up 10%. It's amazing that in the middle of this crisis that these numbers came out as good as they did. Active inventory, this was interesting too, is we saw a large number of homes come back on the market. So I think there was a number of people that pulled out of contracts because of the fear of the market. But for the most part, this is springtime. I think what this situation did is it just bumped our springtime out a little bit further towards the summer. Right now, our active inventory is at 765, and that's up 8.5% from February and up or down 24% from March of 2019. So we're still in a little bit of a low inventory state, which knowing that when you look at supply and demand, that can tend to have an impact on prices. Again, I think what will happen going further, these numbers will probably flatten out. Sellers are still getting about 99% of their asking price. Again, assuming that they're priced correctly, we have a lot of sellers in this market that think that people are going to overpay for their homes, and we're just not seeing that. So again, not having a crystal ball, just my guess on going further, I think what will happen is these things will flatten out or decrease a little bit, and there'll be some pretty good opportunities moving forward. I will probably have more information for you as the days go on. I hope that helps, Jess. If there's something I missed, give me a shout back. I'll talk to you later.